Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So I would be presenting Alive, which is an augmented reality application in news and journalism category. And I work for Times Mobile Limited, which is part of BCCL Group, Times of India. Uh, so we have already seen a revolution happening, which is mobile. We already reached 800, 900 million penetration in India. And right now, what we are addressing is a mobile internet revolution, where 20 to 30% of those mobile users are on mobile internet who are trying to do something, whether accessing news or search or entertainment. Uh, so what Alive is does is it satisfies the basic need and has become the gateway of exploring, engaging, and sharing of news and content. Uh, so when we conceptualize this basic need of exploring, engaging, and sharing, we used mobile internet as a channel. That how we can leverage this channel to bring a product which is a augmented reality application. So before going further, I will just give a brief what is augmented reality. It is like, say, superimposing of digital content, whether it is video, multimedia, data, on print media. Okay, so it is basically a new age digital media which is trying to bring print alive. So how it happens is that if you are on internet, you can go to alivear.com, download the application, and wherever you see, when if you are reading a Times of India, you would have noticed an Alive logo in some of the content pieces. So when you open the application, you scan that content, whether it's an image or a news. And as soon as you scan, you directly reach into exploring that particular piece of content in real time, whether it is a video news or further animation on it, or you can further participate into it through polls or surveys. So that is what Alive was launched with Times of India Group, and it has successfully set the standards for augmented reality in India. So this is how you can experience Alive. So what here it is trying to, we are trying to discuss is that no one is cannibalizing print or digital that we keep on debating. Alive has become as a much more of complementing print media, where both of the mediums are complementing and creating a unique value proposition for the customers. How it is helping publishers? See, one is when I am reading content on newspaper, I'm already visualizing something that this would have happened or something. Alive helps in marrying that visualization in the print media by augmenting and seeing that in real scenario. So it has become much more dynamic. It has become much more contextual. Uh, for example, I gave you an example that if I'm reading a news and I want to engage in, whether I want to share that piece of video or a news, or I want to do a poll, or I want to put my opinion, Alive gives you that all advantage of reaching and sharing your ideas and views. It is basically empowering people. It's not just reading newspaper, it is about now putting your opinions using a live platform. Uh, so, so what it is further helping publisher, one is the readers are much more engaging, much with better services. It is also helping publishers where we are giving a barometer of understanding how their content is being viewed and read. For example, if I have put a news content of there is an advertisement, now it empowers publishers that how many people are engaging in their content, which piece of content people are more engaging, more interacting. So it gives an extra mile to these publishers, the news people, to further improve on the content enrichment and engagement. Uh, so I spoke about multimedia, where it is not just showing a video or an image or a web page. It can further go into much more enriching experience by giving further choices to the users, where you can create an animated article or a cartoon or overlaying of certain video on that piece of content. Uh, Opportunities are unlimited. Uh, what Alive is trying to do is trying to create a content convergence, whether it is video, images, sound, print. And how it is leveraging is through various enablers, like you can explore commerce on this, or you can do a 3D augmentation. Location can be a very beautiful feature. For example, if I am reading newspaper, and if I am using the Alive to augment that news, so how can you further use the location? If I know the location of the user, I can further engage the user and recommend the user for related news in that particular location where he is reading the newspaper. So it is not just reading newspaper but augmenting it with further enabling it with location, commerce, 3D, social, where if I'm reading that particular news and if I want to share it on Facebook, Twitter, or through SMS or email, you can do that right there now. And channels, it is not just limited to publishing industry, where we have seen across in last 1 year, it has been used across various verticals, whether it is healthcare or auto industry or retail, where they are trying to put their content of print on newspaper, on brochures, and making their content coming alive. So this is just a brief experience we had in last 1 year since the product was launched in last December. This was one of the first product which was available on all the 5 platforms, which is very, very important. See, though we understand that Android and iOS are the market leaders, but that story doesn't end there. A lot of rural population and who are already on Java, Symbian, or BlackBerry, it has to reach to length and breadth of the country to give the same kind of user experience that they can use Alive rather than just limited to a couple of platforms. So going further into it, we already, data is little old, so it has already reached to 1 million downloads. And what we have seen, it has reached to even 5 million scans of interactions in a month. So that is the kind of engagement that Alive has been able to fulfill and provide to the users, where there are 5 million kind of interactions that users are able to read and then use the product and then further explore into that piece of content. Further it gets into more depth is that what is the average time? Okay, I have used Alive, but what user is further doing it? With the analytics, it shows that almost users on average spends 1.5 to 2 minutes on a piece of content. So it is not just reading a particular news and just wrapping the newspaper. Now further, the news reader is trying to explore that particular piece of content, and that engagement has gone to even 1.5 to 2 minutes. So that is how it is helping both the customers and the publishers. Once it was launched with Times of India, so it is not just about technology. The whole piece and machinery has been put into place right from when a news article is taken by a journalist, right to how it is enabled on this platform and how it is made alive the very next day morning. So whole machinery and the platform and the process has been put into place, and we have reached that right now we are augmenting almost 400 to 500 pieces of content every month. So this has been the story with Times of India, but what it is, it further for various other publishers. It is a platform which allows other publishers also to come on this platform and provide their content and make them AR enable. So it is not a big investment. It's a platform which is a more of a managed services hosted. A publisher can come. We give them the complete empowerment where they can make their content alive within next day, where you put their images, put your markers, the target images, and the process and the services behind our team would make their content alive within a span of hours. So they don't have to invest in the hardware or the software. Everything is managed by times. So that is the beauty that Alive platform wants to further leverage with other publishers and who wants to join this into AR platform and AR service industry.
So it's like a market where other publishers can put their stuff.
So it is not an open market, but it is a platform where if publisher wants to come on this platform, so we can enable their content, whatever is their content, and the content they have for the output.
There is a small panchayat in the hills
Right.
that wants to join this.
Yes.
It puts its photographs or
Right.
articles, etc.
Right.
On this platform.
Right.
And what do you do after that?
See, one is the, if Panchayat is a content owner here, right? So they have the content and they want to show that once I have the image and somebody scans somewhere on the newspaper, they have to publish that piece of content somewhere. Okay, whether it is on their leaflet in their Panchayat, in their villages, or it's in a local magazine or a local newspaper, it has to be published somewhere. Okay, so when that images gets published and when user scans that image, then further what Panchayat wants to give them further of a video or a story behind that image, what actually happened behind that image, what actually happened behind that story. So that is what we are going to combine that content with the image. And then when a user scans that image on that local newspaper, a local magazine, or a billboard, or any leaflet being stuck on the pole of their village, then he is going to read and view the complete and experience that story. So this process we are trying, Alive platform, we will try to digitize and enable for that Panchayat organization. So they don't need to worry on their technology, how to put this system in place, how to put this processes in place. So that is what we are trying to gear up even small to medium kind of enterprises to come on this platform and leverage their content and let people explore their more content.
So apart from, I'm sorry.
Sorry, what Gautam asked, just supplementing. What is the business model for this small panchayat?
See, business model is definitely with the organization. There is a business model where we charge as per a say monthly fee based on the kind of content or the number of content pieces that they want to put on their platform. So there are different business models. So right now, primarily it has been in the amount of content that they want to augment. And we charge a number of images or the number of content, and we charge a nominal say monthly subscription fee rather than charging them for a server or a hosting or the infrastructure.
Transaction based on.
Yeah, transactions or the content that they want, if they want to, they see that they have around 10 pieces of content they want to make Alive every month. So that is a, so, yeah. Yeah, sure.
You are actually this Alive application, you click the photo and the video comes up. If I got a 50 years old newspaper,
Right.
will they bring it up?
Yes.
And how?
Yeah.
Will
So
they bring it up and how? Because what is the searching mechanism because of that? And how are you going to bring it through a whole database
Right.
of the whole contents which are there of 50 years old?
So if there is a 40-year-old or 50-year-old piece of content, first that piece of content,
With your application, or
yeah, with my application. So first that content has to come on this CMS platform. Okay, so that digital piece of image of that 50-year-old newspaper will go into the CMS platform. So it doesn't matter whether that image is black and white or it's really old or something.
No, I'm not asking that. I'm asking you have got a Alive application, you click a photo and it brings the video or image, whatever is there.
Yeah.
Now I have got a back old paper which is 50 years old and you have got the Alive application. I click on that.
Yes.
How it now searches.
So therefore, that piece of content which is 50-year-old has to be into the content library of Alive.
Correct. It is already there.
If it's already there, and if you scan that image,
does it go on image processing or what it does?
Yeah,
That is what the question was.
So technology is that once that 50-year-old image we upload into the CMS, the library of image recognition AR platform, it is being ready for scan.
So who has developed that image recognition platform?
See, right now we work with different partners as a Times Mobile. So as a piece, we have the application.
Recognition part, image processing.
So image recognition, right now we are working with, say, AdStuck is one of the partners, plus there are various multiple partners whom we are working with. Yeah. So this is this is last slide. So this is just gives the idea about the scale that right now we are doing Alive, where we have AR enabled all these magazines from Filmfare, Good Health, Femina. Newspapers, we have reached to almost all kind of newspapers, where if you go through these newspapers, you will find some piece of content which is ready to go alive. And these are brands, like we have already crossed 100.
Yeah, so this is what I wanted to
Yeah,
ask.
sure.
Come to the last slide again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, suppose there is that Philips brand out there.
Right.
And it places its ad in one of your newspapers.
Sure.
So there'll be a scanning thing.
Yes.
And then I can watch a Philips, let us say,
Philips
a
or something,
refrigerator or
yeah,
some
yeah,
Philips
yeah.
aftershave, I mean,
Sure,
some shaver or
any-
something.
yeah, yeah.
And on my phone.
On my phone. So
That's-
so what it happens is that when
So you are offering print and video in one platform through this
yeah,
technology.
so video is just one part of it. Further, it can put into various kind of engagement where it can be of enriched of, say, spot recognition or a continuous tracking on classifieds even as well.
Or maybe even e-commerce. I can go and purchase.
Commerce. So therefore, opportunities are unlimited, where you can go into commerce, you can go into putting your comments into polls or surveys. You can even brands can put their put your registration form on it. So opportunity one is the recognition piece, and then you further how you engage that user into that particular piece of content rather than moving away from that content. So that is how Alive is trying to complement and bridging that gap between print and digital, rather than saying that, for example, I have seen an ad and say that you call this IVR number, and he's away from that piece of content on the ad. Right now, when he's scanning that particular piece of ad, so he's right now scanning that particular piece of content, and then brand is allowing him to engage into that and explore, or how brand wants to take it further.
Any questions? Okay, I have one more question.
Sure.
Is Times the only company in the world which is doing this, or are
No.
there some other people also in this?
Definitely, there are quite a number of publishers worldwide who have experimented or are doing it. Once it was launched in India across all 5 platforms, so we have, because of the scale that we have done, a lot of other newspapers in India or international have also started experimenting and doing all this stuff. So, but our journey doesn't end here of getting into news right now. Therefore, I said how we are now trying to provide as a white label platform for other publishers also to enrich and use this platform rather than just getting limited to one publication or 2 publications.
Thanks very much.
All
Thanks.
right. Thank you so much.